Wait. Hold on. Before we talk about the family business returning for season 7, we need to talk about where they left us in season 6 because it did not end peacefully. We had murder, betrayal, a new baby, a missing Duncan, and a brother that nobody even knew about, right? But while I was binge watching these final episodes, I noticed something else. The music and a strong television score. It tells us something is wrong, right? Before the character even says a word. It builds tension and it makes funny moments even funnier. And sometimes it warns us that somebody is about to make a real stupid decision. Now, that emotional layer throughout the family business, it comes from composer Diggy Morrison. And he once described a great score as something that communicates directly with the audience and works almost like an additional player in the story. And trust me, this season gave him plenty to work with. And when they returned for season 7, I don't want anybody to be lost in the sauce, right? So I'm here to remind everybody exactly what happened back in season 6. So let's get into it. I know we all remember that Consuelo was grieving the death of Juan, right? And Elsie was also dealing with Vincent's medical condition, but neither of them had time to sit comfortably inside that grief, right? They were both grieving at the same time for two totally different things. And even though she was grieving, she wasn't grieving bad enough to not give the location of Antonio Dash. She told Elsie that her and her girls got the location and she gave it up to him smooth, no problem. And Chippy tried to convince Elsie to take one of the children with him to look for Antonio Dash, but he refused. He said he wanted to handle this all by himself. And honestly, I like seeing Elsie get his own hands dirty for once. I mean, well, he did back in season 5, but it's good for him to take accountability for what he needs to do and not involve his kids all the time. Now, we already learned that Vegas served time, right, to protect his family and to keep Elsie out of prison. So this felt like Elsie's finally accepting responsibility for something himself. Like I said, well, almost by himself. Rob went with him. Now, during that ride, Elsie talked about loyalty while sitting beside a man, Rob, who was secretly sleeping with Donna, right? The irony practically wrote itself. Now, Elsie eventually found Antonio at Dominique's bedside inside of this makeshift clinic of sorts. Now, Dominique was on a breathing machine and Antonio had nowhere to run, nowhere. And then Elsie asked him, you got any final words, bruh? Then he shot him in his chest right as he was about to talk or say something. But thankfully, he did leave Dominique alive. And some of us may have forgotten that Dominique is a professional survivor, okay? She's a professional 304, period. Now, she goes wherever the money goes, wherever the power, the protection happened to be. First, it was Alexander Cora, then Antonio Dash. Now that Antonio's dead, I wonder who her next victim is gonna be. Because Antonio's death has caused a much bigger problem. We learned that he was an informant connected to Nelson, a dirty law enforcement officer who was making money from all of his arrangements. So not only did Elsie get rid of the enemy, he also interfered with somebody else's money. And meanwhile, Junior was over there trying to convince London that he wanted peace. He wanted to live in peace and to just raise his daughter. Now, he claimed that he didn't order any attacks against their friends, but London finally gave him the truth that he really needed to hear. She told him to stop trying to lead like LC and to become his own man. She also reminded him exactly who Donna was before the family took him away from her. And that conversation was long overdue. Junior needed to hear the truth from somebody who actually cared about him, because Donna certainly didn't, right? She was too busy proving the complete opposite, that she didn't want peace. She just kept the chaos going. She got the alliance together, announced Antonio's death, and basically let them know that she was going to be taking over. And when Alexander Cora challenged her authority, she shot him before he could shoot her. So in that instance, it was justified because it was either her or him at that point. Then she gave Aries Cora a very simple choice. You either continue running your family's business, on this side of life, or you can join your parents in the afterlife. And Aries chose to keep breathing, and I don't blame him. But the surprises didn't stop there. Donna bought out yet another surprise. Randy Moss, Vince's uncle. Now the alliance has a brand new member. And because betrayal apparently needed overtime, Rob told Donna that Junior was still alive. Donna's response? No more benefits. No more bedroom benefits until you find my son. Now, that relationship is going to explode eventually, and the only question is who is going to get burned first. And elsewhere, Bobby the Beast's life was falling apart. He tested positive for HGH again, and he lost his boxing license and blamed Paris for destroying his career, his name, and his legacy. Now, Paris absolutely wanted revenge, but Bobby's ego, he had been begging to get knocked down for a long time. That mouth of his, wow. He later confronted Paris at Club Oasis. He tied Rio up and forced Paris toward the pool at gunpoint. Then Niles arrived, right? Surprisingly. But Bobby refused to release her. He refused to let her go. So Niles admitted that he was still in love with Paris and he shot him. Then he kissed Paris. So Paris tried to kill Niles, right? Niles survived. Bobby tried to kill Paris. Niles shot Bobby. And now Paris and Niles are back together, back in love, all over again, like none of this happened. And this is so not romantic. It's a criminal case with background music. Speaking of music, this is where the score becomes so important. A scene can move us from danger to heartbreak to complete foolishness, right? Like this one. The music has to carry us through these changes seamlessly, right? But Diggy Morrison, he's been creating music far beyond this series. That's why he knows what he's doing. His career includes remix and arrangement work connected to artists such as Beyonce, Janet Jackson, Destiny's Child, and the list goes on and on. He's also a longtime music educator. He's taught children while building his career as a composer and a producer. Now that deserves recognition, and this is why I'm talking about him right now. Not because I know him personally, but because his work is helping these scenes feel believable. And if you've been a fan of the channel for any amount of time that I've been covering this show, I always give them their props because they deserve it. As a whole, I mean, the show it's awesome. The characters are so believable. The characters, the set, the direction, the mood, like the lighting, everything comes together so nicely, which makes this show what it is. And this is why I like it so much. Now, let's move on to some of the lighter moments that came when Sonia went into labor. That was hilarious. Harris told her to wait until Junior came back to have the baby, as though the baby accepts scheduling requests. Harris was panicking, Sonia was panicking, and somehow they successfully delivered that baby. But Junior did get there in time. So it was funny because the actors completely committed to this moment, and the scene felt frantic, right? Ridiculously real all at one time. But unfortunately, that joy did not last because the following morning, Sonia and Harris went looking for Junior, and his truck was still outside, right? And they found blood in the driveway and along the stairs. So now Junior is gone. And that was one of the season's biggest cliffhangers, but the Duncans were not finished collecting surprises. Now, this takes us to Roman and Orlando. They finally fought, got into this big scuffle right there in the hospital room after Roman demanded respect from Orlando. And you know Orlando wasn't about to do all of that. So he punched him and he left blood on his shirt, right? So later on, Orlando, roaming through the hallways after he calmed down, he secretly went into this lab and tested Roman's blood. Not only did the results come back that was his brother, but he was also a perfect match for little Vincent, right? So Orlando then asked Roman to become a donor for Vincent, and Roman agreed. And in my opinion, that was a clever way to bring the blood test into the story without making the discovery feel completely random. So this is where they left everything, y'all. Antonio Dash is dead. Nelson wants answers about his missing informant and all of his lost money. Donna has taken control of the Alliance. Rob is still betraying LC. Bobby may be dead, and Paris and Niles have restarted this beautifully dysfunctional relationship. Roman is officially a Duncan and maybe Vincent's best chance at survival. And Junior has disappeared, leaving nothing behind but his truck and a trail of blood. Diggy Morrison has also scored season 7, right? Although a streaming premiere date has not yet been announced. But when it is, I will be back on here to let you guys know when it starts. So when the Duncans return, make sure that you guys listen carefully for the music, the drops, the dramatic interludes, all of that. Make sure you listen out for that, okay? Because before the next betrayal is revealed, the music may tell us what's coming, right? So who do you believe took Junior? And do you think Donna already knows exactly where her son is? Do you think she had anything to do with him being missing? I don't know, because they were kind of off the grid, pretty strong. They were, they're hid pretty good. So I don't know who knows that they're there, and somebody had to be watching them, right? So we have a lot to look forward to, guys, in season 7. So if you're going to be tuned in, drop me your thoughts and your theories down in the comments below. And if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. And if you're a fan of the family business like I am, then go ahead and sub to this channel for more videos just like this one. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight, you guys, to Ruthless TV, and I'm going to see you on the next one.